Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have a lot of stuff going on when it comes to the PlayStation 5, and more so on the future of the PlayStation 5 too as well. We have some very intriguing technology that's actually going to be showcased. We'll give you guys also like the trailer and kind of talk about our thoughts on it for the Sony AI. But as well, we also have the PlayStation 5 architect, the actual man, myth, the legend himself, Mark Cerny, as well as also kind of making some very intriguing business pushes, and also kind of being able to go utilize the internals of the PlayStation 5 just a little bit better. And on top of that too, we also have some really big game studios that are trying their best to go now push for that next level of these internal next-gen graphics and next-gen utilization of these consoles, which is always kind of crazy for me to keep on saying next-gen, because at this point, the console's been out for literally over a year, and at some point, we do have to really usually go make that jump. And that's actually something I keep on pushing for a lot myself, is that if we keep on trying to go our best to keep and fine-tune with the PS4 and previous gen Xboxes, we're never actually going to go involve and have better games out there. So I'm not against it, especially with Horizon and God of War coming out for the PS4, but it is really nice to go and see the future and future thinking for all these things. So let's go and talk about that, and we have a lot of cool little things to go and showcase throughout this video. As well, we'll keep on watching for restock stuff all throughout the rest of today, so make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. As well, for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway of the Samsung SSDs down below. Currently still up on sale if you just want to check them out. Same with the Samsung $50 gift cards as well. Checking those links down below. Amazon for the PS5 digital console controller. Twitter and Twitch stream as well. Link down below, and sign up for Weeble. Deposit $100. You guys go get free stock and free money. Same with that Coinbase too as well. And I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Let's go and dive on in. So the very first kind of big thing I want to go mention for this one, because I think it's probably the more intriguing thing for everything. If you guys are any local side news, don't worry about that with my family. But basically for this is, we actually had a very intriguing tweet and brand new Twitter profile and a YouTube video, which I'll show up in a second, from the Sony AI global team, which we'll show you guys this on one second, but basically stating, coming soon on 2/9, our team is excited to launch our gaming flagship, so in regards to PlayStation, in regards to future games, in regards to all of that, and then announce a breakthrough project in AI, created through the collab with Sony Poly Digital Incorporated, or PDI, and Sony Interactive Entertainment. So right now we actually have a huge, I believe to me, this is the very first step of a few other things I'm going to mention, this kind of seems like the huge next first step when it comes to the future, when it comes to either maybe like making background graphics, maybe utilizing things like say in Gran Turismo, which you guys know is coming out very soon, or all these type of little things that maybe work for facial graphics or feature facial recognition, or trying to go work towards other various things. And this is really cool. So I'm gonna let the trailer kind of playing out. We'll actually have more unofficial things. You guys can even see Gran Turismo up in the background. And I think one of the biggest things we always kind of know when it comes to games, say like Gran Turismo, is the graphics are out of this world. So the fact that we're having a chance to go and see Sony AI and potentially maybe be able to go and like put together either better things for say movies, you know, really good CGI and other various types of movie cutscenes, or other various things such as maybe just making a game cutscene better, making the actual game environment better. All that stuff put together is kind of the future of video games, where we could actually utilize these GPUs, utilize everything else inside the game, and basically make gaming and movies and experiences and TV shows a little bit better. So the fact that this actually worked in together with, they were seeing even Gran Turismo and Sony AI and all the other various little tidbits in here, kind of goes to show that they are at least somewhat forward thinking on the future of the consoles, somewhat forward thinking of the future of like movies, and overall we'll have to see what the proper announcement is on the 9th, which is coming actually very soon. And usually when it comes to these big kind of press announcements, when it has like Sony officially themselves involved, usually is a very nice thing to go and see. So that's kind of the part one of it, but we actually have a few other little things too as well. We actually have the PS5 architect maker himself, Mark Cerny, is now actually going to be helping out a big game studio, Haven Studios, inclusive and caring online game, which will also be launching up on PC. So this is more on the intriguing side, because Mark Cerny is a very high up, who's also had some very cool architect being developed for the console itself. So as you can see over here for Haven Studios, the Montreal-based team founded by Jade Ramon, is working with PlayStation Studios on its debut project after a huge chunk of the team was let go by Google. So now, courtesy of the interview originally published in French, they also have a nice translation stating they actually are finally seeing an evolving online environment game that's going to be a brand new huge exclusive for the PS5 and PC. So for this, we also kind of hear the news as well, we kind of covered up yesterday, where Sony's trying their best to go push for 10 online service titles. So think more of like a Bungie game, you know, like a Destiny game, where basically we'll be seeing like different changes, the world evolves, like you have different maps, like the maps can actually get changed depending on the expansion and the time. Think Fortnite, or think like other games like Apex, where like there's a big ever evolving changing gaming world where everything kind of slightly changes at one point, and maybe like a big event can change another thing, and kind of pushing that mark. So this actually looks really cool for more on the MMO MMO sign too as well. So basically, the published by Le Devoir, it's basically comparing the development to another Montreal-based product, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, which the game will grow, add more characters, add more environments, add more different types of maps, and basically get better as time goes on. So basically, they also even mentioned the mission that leaders of Haven Studios have set for themselves is to promote inclusion and caring, which I'm sure that's very nice in the general sense, but I'm kind of more curious on what the game is going to be, if the game's going to be fun and all of that. So Paula Joix, a key member at Haven Studios, also added that in order to retain players, it really must be pleasant to visit. These environments are not just games, they're also social platforms for many players. So it's very intriguing to go and see, because as I mentioned, when it comes to Mark Cerny, he actually had a very, very big build-up for the PlayStation 5, and seeing the future of what he wants to do for various games, whether it's on PC or PS5 or whatever, is always a very, very nice thing to see. So we love seeing this in the future of the AI and AI development, and that kind of goes into the cutscenes and goes into more of like the overall development of the consoles themselves, utilization of movies, utilizations of TV shows, utilization of CGI, but as well, we're also seeing the literal makers of the PS5 itself to make the console good, who are also trying their best to work on like crossplay and like previous gen, also having a chance to now push into other live action games. And it does really seem like Sony's trying to push more into that live action, ever growing and ever changing gaming department. And for long-term development and growth, that's a very good idea. And that also leads into the next part over here for Platinum, who's in the news today, where their new CEO for this, and this kind of goes into like the big reason of why we're going next gen and why we want to feel next gen, is that he even states he wants to create larger, riskier games and more hinting at this live service focus. It's kind of been the flavor of the week, but it is a good point, because a lot of these games that are able to go and change on the fly, think even like a GTA, where if they can go and utilize the online, utilize microtransactions and DLCs and just have a good game, you can make a lot of money, because people are always going to be coming back every few weeks or every few months and go and play it. It's kind of a good example, like a Call of Duty or like a Fortnite or Apex, or over time, you may not go play the game for a little while, but maybe you see a brand new update and everyone's all excited and they have brand new features and they have brand new, like, planes and stuff like that you want to go utilize and play. You could also think that for like 2K, you can think about that for DLC packs, think about it for new battle passes, all this stuff put together. So very nice to go and see, because these people are finally pushing this next gen, where they want to be able to go utilize, say, the Xbox Series X or PS5's larger, better SSD. You also have better graphics cards and mixed to it, so they can actually utilize a lot more. And this is what I want to see for next gen. Some of these projects with the AI or some of these projects with the architecture is extremely cool. So we actually have this new co-founder over here for Atuchi Imba over here, which I actually clicked the wrong link for that one. But basically for this, we actually have DAO finally seeing a lot more of these live service games again. They want to suggest a larger focus on live service games. He said he'd like the company to create more games that can be enjoyed and loved for a longer period of time, which would make sense because game development's very expensive and you want to be able to go and utilize and make that money back as time goes on. I'm 100% with that, because we're seeing the future of this stuff. We're seeing the availability, because people just update and do a patch online. If you have an internet connection, you can update the game. If you have like a 3-year-long game, you have the time to work it and make new maps and have different like cosmetics and have new characters as time goes on. So I'm sure a lot of people like, one-off games. They like Bayonetta, God of War, but imagine you had a God of War game that was able to be multiplayer and play all the time. Now, granted, it's kind of a weird game for God of War to mention for that, but just imagine that in the first place. So I've also even mentioned too that these things are all different from the past. All these upcoming games, all these upcoming game developments, all these upcoming utilizations for all these consoles is pretty much how we finally go and turn next gen. He also didn't go make a joke saying, oops, I almost blurted out something important about where we are going, and but hinted when asked about the design philosophy behind GG. Project GG is still at the stage of testing various things, so I can't tell you much about it, but when it comes to the future game production, we want to focus on creating games that are different from the past. I'd like to focus on creating games that can be enjoyed and loved for a longer period of time. So once again, that kind of goes back to the original idea of these live service games. Think once again Bungie, and that probably does explain the very long-term plan of why they wanted to buy Bungie and get Destiny in the first place, so they can have another game, either say for Destiny 3, with a live service game that might also be trying to combine with Project Spartacus, like, the Game Pass competition, and you just have all these live service games, you buy them on out, you try to create them yourself, and you go from there, and you can basically have your player base be enjoying and being exclusive towards your game consoles. He, of course, said they would still like to go and cherish and create small but brilliantly conceived games such as Sol Cresta, so just smaller indie games or good, like, AAA games, story games out there, but as well, even though a game like Bayonetta was fantastic, they want to create the future. These projects they were trying to create for the future will be different in terms of the structure. So it does kind of seem like we're finally pushing the next gen. We're finally pushing this next gen utilization. We're seeing games that are planned for next gen in mind, and hopefully we could actually go and utilize this PS5 and Xbox sooner rather than later. So a little bit of a more random video, but I hope you guys still enjoyed it. So make sure you guys leave a like if you guys did. If you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, and for the PS5 giveaway, Samsung SSDs down below on sale. Same with the Samsung $50 gift cards down below. Twitter and Twitch stream on top of that. And sign up for that Weeble and sign up for that Coinbase. We have a lot of stuff going on over here. So if you guys all enjoyed the video itself, love you guys.